ChatGPT Search. OpenAI launched ChatGPT in November 2022, and by 2026 it had reached 800 million monthly active users, making it the most widely used AI product in history. Search came later, added in late 2024, giving ChatGPT the ability to pull from live web sources rather than relying only on its training data. Before that, asking it about anything recent was a gamble. The search layer changed that. Now when you ask a question, ChatGPT decides whether to browse the web, fetches relevant sources, and gives you a conversational response with citations embedded, not a list of links to sort through, just an answer with sources visible alongside it. What made this significant wasn't the search capability itself, it was the distribution. Hundreds of millions of people were already inside ChatGPT every day for writing, research, coding, thinking through problems. Adding search didn't ask anyone to change a habit or install anything new. It just showed up in the tool they were already using. Perplexity had a head start building dedicated AI search. Google had decades of infrastructure, but ChatGPT had an installed base that dwarfed any competitor in the AI native space. By early 2026, a real share of queries that would have gone to Google a year earlier were landing in ChatGPT instead. Not the majority, but enough that Google accelerated its own AI search development in direct response. ChatGPT didn't set out to beat Google at search. It just happened to be where hundreds of millions of people already were when they had a question. Google. Google has run the world's dominant search engine for over 2 decades, and by 2026 it still processed more queries than everything else on this list combined. The AI layer arrived in the form of AI overviews, a feature that rolled out through 2024. When you search for something now, rather than just a ranked list of links, Google generates a short AI-written answer at the top of the page. The links stay below it. You can ignore the AI summary and scroll past it, or you can read the answer and move on without clicking anything. The reception was uneven. Early versions of AI overviews produced some notable errors, including factual summaries that were clearly wrong and spread widely on social media. Google moved quickly to fix the most visible mistakes, but the rollout made clear that adding a generative AI layer to something that handles billions of queries a day is not a small operation. Errors don't stay quiet at that scale. By 2025 and into 2026, AI overviews were more reliable and available across most major markets. The harder strategic question was what it meant for the websites and publishers that had spent years building traffic from Google's organic results. If users get their answer directly from the AI summary, they stop clicking. Google's own search feature was now answering questions without sending traffic anywhere. That tension between Google and the web it indexes has become one of the more significant ongoing arguments in the media and publishing industries. Still the most used search product in the world, just under more pressure than it has faced in a very long time. Perplexity AI. Perplexity launched in 2022 with a specific premise: give you one coherent answer instead of a list of links to sort through yourself. You ask a question, it searches the web in real time, synthesizes what it finds, and responds with a written answer that cites its sources inline. Every claim is attributed. You can click any citation to see the original. That sounds like a small improvement over traditional search. In practice, for a lot of research tasks, it's a genuinely different experience. By mid-2025, Perplexity had around 45 million monthly active users, which is large for a standalone AI search product, even if it's nowhere near Google's scale. The people drawn to it tended to be researchers, students, journalists, and professionals doing a lot of information gathering who found link lists slow and reading 10 articles to answer one question inefficient. The company added deep research for multi-step topic investigation, spaces for organizing ongoing research, and a mobile app that replaced Google as the daily search tool for a certain kind of user. It's also been the most direct about the underlying tension in AI search. The product summarizes content that other people created. The citations provide transparency, but they don't restore the traffic that publishers lose when users get answers inside Perplexity and never click through. Perplexity is having that conversation openly in a way most Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft's entry into AI search came from one of the more unexpected partnerships in recent tech history. In early 2023, Microsoft made a major investment in OpenAI and integrated GPT-4 directly into Bing. It launched as Bing AI, went through several naming changes, and eventually consolidated under the Copilot brand across Microsoft's product lineup. By mid-2025, it had around 33 million monthly active users, growth driven primarily by Microsoft's existing ecosystem rather than people actively choosing it over alternatives. The integration goes deep. Copilot lives in the Edge browser sidebar, inside Windows, inside Microsoft 365, and inside Bing itself. If you're already using any of those, it's already there. You don't have to find it. For a company with one of the largest software installed bases in the world, that's a significant advantage. In search, Copilot works similarly to ChatGPT Search and Perplexity. Ask a question, it searches the web, synthesizes results, gives you a cited conversational answer. The model quality has improved substantially since the early rollout. which was noticeably rough. The more interesting thing Copilot does that pure web search can't is integrate with your own data. Microsoft 365 Copilot can search through your emails, documents, and Teams conversations alongside the public web. For enterprise users deeply embedded in Microsoft's tools, that combination is genuinely useful and not something a general-purpose web search engine can replicate. U.com. U.com launched in 2021 as an AI-native search alternative, and it has consistently appeared on top AI search lists without ever becoming a household name. That's worth being honest about. It has a real product, real users, and a distinct point of view, but it's remained a credible alternative rather than a mass-market tool. The product gives you AI-generated summaries above web results, similar to Perplexity, but it also layers in specialized modes for coding, writing, research, and creative tasks. You can switch between different underlying AI models, including Claude and GPT-4, depending on what you need. That model flexibility is uncommon in a search product and reflects a design philosophy that treats search as a workspace with multiple tools rather than a single query box. U.com has also leaned into privacy more than most competitors. It doesn't track queries or build profiles for advertising, which matters to a specific group of users. The honest summary is that it's a solid product that found itself competing directly against OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. Growing a user base against those names is genuinely difficult, and it shows in the numbers. But it's used regularly by enough people and covered in enough mainstream tech writing that it belongs in any accurate picture of what AI search looks like now. Brave Search. Brave is a browser that built its own independent search engine and then built AI into it through a feature called Leo. The combination is unusual. Brave Search doesn't rely on Google's or Bing's data. The company built its own search index from scratch starting in 2021, which is a significant technical undertaking that most search products avoid by licensing data from existing providers. Building your own index means you're not dependent on anyone else's infrastructure or policies. For a company whose entire pitch is independence and privacy, that independence matters. The browser itself blocks ads and trackers by default. The search engine doesn't log queries or build advertising profiles. Leo, the AI assistant, can run some requests using local models that don't send your input to an external server at all. The privacy guarantees are more concrete than the vague assurances that come with most AI products. For users who have made a deliberate choice to move away from Chrome and Google Search, Brave Search with Leo is the strongest option available in that space. Leo's AI summaries appear above results and can answer questions, summarize pages, and help with tasks directly in the browser sidebar without switching to a separate tool. The audience is specific. People who have already decided that the default tools aren't acceptable for privacy reasons. That's a real and growing group. Outside of it, most people don't reach for Brave as a starting point, but within it, it's genuinely the best option. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more videos.